Hello, everyone. Let me get to the top of the page there. Welcome to Spring 2014, the Business Math 101. This video, I'm going to try to make it in one video. I might have to make it in two. I'm going to go kind of quick through this. So I only got a 15-minute time limit with my free version here of Screencast-O-Matic. So I want to try to get it in. My name's Chad Kramer. I am going to be your professor here this semester. Let me first talk a little bit about how I got here and why I'm your teacher. I was I was raised here in Casa Grande. I went to school here. I graduated in 2002 from Casa Grande Union High School. I then went into the military pretty shortly after that. 6 years, got out, came back home. I was married. I had a baby on the way. I enrolled right away at CAC. I went to Signal Peak campus for 2 years. I did pretty well there. 2010, I graduated from there. I transferred to ASU in 2010 as an economics major. Went to class my first day in an intermediate microeconomic theory course and realized that I was not going to make it as an economics major at the time. So I switched majors. I attended the W.P. Carey School of Business there, different major. I studied world politics and business, and I minored in philosophy. We can talk more later about the differences in campuses because there's a huge difference. And if you plan on transferring to ASU or some other large school, university, please come ask if you have any questions about it, because it is a drastic difference from a small school like CAC. Graduated in 2012. I was going to go on to law school. I decided against it. At the time, we had a kind of a family thing going on, so I stayed here in town. We bought our house, and I was driving back and forth at ASU at the time, so we lived here. But I was planning on going to law school and going into corporate law. I decided against it, moved back. I work now at our family's. My in-laws started a internet company here in Casa Grande, and I work there. I keep our books. I'm our CFO there and our controller. I deal with all our finances there. So this business math, I do it every day almost. I mean, this is kind of what I do. This is kind of the world I live in. So it comes pretty easy to me, and I understand that not all people are that way. We're going to talk more about kind of how to prepare yourself for a class like this, and what you need to do to stay on top of it, to get an A and move on. So please, any questions you have about my background or how I went to ASU or what ASU was like, or what I would do differently or anything like that, feel free to ask me. Again, my name's Chad Kramer. I'm an adjunct professor. I'm not a faculty member at Central Arizona College. That means that I am temporary, kind of on a need basis. This is my second semester teaching this course out at CAC. Last semester was my first. I kind of got not thrown, but quickly into it. A class was going to be dropped because too many students were in it after it already started. So I had about 4 days to prepare for a class, and I had never taught before. But I made it through. I learned a lot, and I hope this semester is much smoother, much more organized for me, and you guys will do great. A lot of my students did well last semester, and I learned a lot from them as far as how to teach and what works and what doesn't, and I'm going to work on those on those more. So ways to get a hold of me. Here's my phone number. That is my cell phone number. You know, I am I am married. I do got two little girls, so please don't call, 10 o'clock at night or something. I go to bed early. I get up early. I'm a 5 o'clock in the morning type person. So I go to bed about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock every night. So I kind of restrict my hours, 9 to 5, okay, on my cell phone. Anytime in there, please feel free to call me. Office hours by appointment. Let me go back to that. A lot of people came to my office here in Casa Grande last semester and sat with me and talked with me, and we reviewed problems and that type of thing. I did make it a habit of coming to class about an hour early before class started to go over problems. Um, this class is different because it is ITV, and I realize, half the class basically is not, I probably won't ever see in person. So I have to do things a little differently. But nowadays that's possible with Skype or some other means of me recording videos like this, and we'll get through it, right? We'll learn as we go. I'm very good about being efficient and changing the way I do if I don't like it. That's kind of what I like to do, so we'll be fine. Here's my email address. That is the quickest and best way to get a hold of me, okay? I make it a rule to answer pretty quickly. I get to work about 8 o'clock in the morning. First thing I do, well, about second thing I do, first thing I do is make sure um, the bank accounts of the company are okay. Then the second thing I do is check emails from everyone. So I usually answer about 9 o'clock or so. I'll get to those. And then I check again in the afternoon, usually around 2 o'clock. I don't do much checking after 5 o'clock. I kind of reserve that for my family and our time. So if you send me an email and you're wondering why I haven't got back to you in an hour, um, check the clock. It might be after my kind of set times that I have. If you do have an emergency, though, please call me on my cell phone. That's if it's an emergency type thing. If not, reserve the email for that type of thing. This class is officially called Business Math 101. It is the spring 2014 semester. Here's the CRNs, the course numbers. Make sure you're on that. You're supposed to be in these course numbers watching this video. We do meet Tuesdays. That's not right. Someone pointed that out to me the other day. We do meet at 1:30 to 2:45. Okay, an hour and 15 minutes. That is once a week. We only meet for an hour and 15 minutes. That makes it pretty hard for us actually to fit it all in. Okay, we have 14 weeks in this class that from the start to end. 2 of those weeks actually we won't be in class. One of them being spring break. Another one being a teacher faculty in-service type day where they're not holding classes, it's teacher training. So that gives us 12 weeks, and to get through 19 chapters of material and all the exams and all the quizzes and homework that we have to do, and we only have an hour and 15 minutes together. So our time together is really, really important. I try really hard to be really organized when I come to class so that we don't waste time. So things like this where I do the syllabus on video that frees up that time that I would spend, and be able to cover material that you will need for the quiz. So here's the different campuses that are all join us. Signal Peak, that's where I'm at. I think there's 16 of us. There are 16 of students registered for the course. And the other courses are fairly good size too. I think there's about 30 of us or so. So not a small class. So we are spread out, and it does make it difficult. But the key to this class is to communicate well, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute here. You know, if you can't get my email, you called and I'm not answering or something, and you know, you really need to get a hold of someone, here's the two people that you would go to first. James Cadena, he is a economics teacher online, and he is at his home campus is Signal Peak. If you need to get a hold of him, there's his email. He's your first person to go to. He's kind of my course coordinator, the person that I go to. He kind of oversees me directly. Miss Haro, she is our business division chair. All the business classes are under her, basically. That's how you get a hold of her. And then they know how to get a hold of me in different ways, okay? Again, Professor Cadena first, and then Miss Haro go to her second. Okay, that's you know, only if you can't get a hold of me. I'm really good about answering, so I don't expect you guys to have to go to them. Textbook. This is the cover of our textbook right here. It is called Practical Business Math Procedures. Has a handbook. I don't have a picture of the handbook, but the handbook's real thin. It's something like 40 pages. It's real thin though. It's made out of like newspaper type paper. It has just a bunch of charts and numbers, and it probably makes no sense right now, but you'll get used to it. You'll use that book regularly in class. So make sure you have the second part of this book, okay? You don't need an online access code. I didn't use it last semester. Honestly, I don't even really know what's in there. I think it's just some videos and some tutorials and that type of thing. It didn't seem to be an issue last semester that someone really needed it. So you don't need it. If you think it'll help, by all means, you know, get an access code. But I won't personally be assigning anything off of it or anything like that, okay? What else you might need in class? A calculator. A simple one will do. If you plan on going on in math or any type of higher math other than this class, I recommend that you just buy a TI-83, a Texas Instruments calculator. It's pretty much the standard calculator you'll use in algebra or anything where you need graphing calculators or finance or any of those. You'll use that a lot, okay? So these calculators, simple ones, are relatively cheap. You know, you can get real cheap. I'm just, you know, it can be the one with the little solar panel on it, and you don't even have to have batteries to it. I mean, it can be really cheap. We're just doing a simple arithmetic here, and it doesn't need to do a lot, but just a tip if you're going to go on, look for maybe get that better calculator now, and I can show you how to really use it. Okay, so this class, here's our course description. It is a study of mathematical computations as applied in various business transactions, including discounts, interest, payroll, bank reconciliations, and some business statistics. This is it's a very broad sweeping class. Okay, we cover a lot of different areas: consumer finance, business finance, all kinds of home loans and credit cards and car loans. And I mean, we really cover a lot of material and a lot of different things. The first few chapters are very fundamental to what we'll be doing, and I'll talk more about that. We're going to have a little something different this semester that I want to make sure people understand. Those first, I think it's 3 chapters right off, because those are the fundamentals that if you don't understand those, you're going to have a hard time with the rest of the semester. Okay, I'm going to stop this video here. I'm at my time limit, and I'll see you in the next video.